Congratulations. You did exactly what you were told. Study hard. Get good grades. Find a stable job. Work hard. Save your money. Avoid risk. Stay safe. And somehow, you still feel behind. That is not an accident. That is the design. From a beginning, you were handed a script that sounded responsible. Get educated. Get employed. Get approved. Get comfortable. Then repeat the same cycle for the next 40 years. Wake up. Commute. Work. Pay bills. Sleep. Repeat. And if you feel exhausted, they tell you to work harder. If you feel trapped, they tell you to be grateful. If you question the system, they tell you to be realistic. But realism is often just another word for obedience. You believe your choices are your own, but most of your beliefs were installed long before you ever made your first paycheck. Work hard. Play safe. Don't ask too many questions. Don't take risks. Don't stand out. These ideas were presented as wisdom, but they also happen to create highly predictable people. People who trade their best years for a salary. People who wait for permission. People who mistake routine for progress. The system does not need you wealthy. It needs you consistent. It needs you tired enough to keep working, but comfortable enough not to rebel. So it offers just enough income to survive, just enough entertainment to stay distracted, just enough hope to keep going. And while you're busy chasing stability, someone else is building ownership. Someone else is acquiring leverage. Someone else is buying back their time. You're not failing because you are lazy. You are struggling because you are trained to play a game designed to keep you moving without ever truly escaping. And the most dangerous part? You thought you were doing everything right. The real question is, what if the life you are building was never meant to make you free? Here is the mechanism most people never see. You were trained to trade time for money. At first, it sounds logical. Work more, earn more, save more, eventually retire. But hidden inside that formula is a fatal flaw. Your time is limited. Money is not. There are only 24 hours in a day. There is no negotiating with that number. No promotion can create more time. No raise can buy back your 20s. And yet, the entire system teaches you to exchange the one asset you can never replace for a currency that can be created endlessly. That is not a path to freedom. It is a dependency model. The wealthy understand something different. They do not focus solely on income. They focus on leverage. Leverage means creating results that continue even when you stop working. A business, an investment, intellectual property, a system, something that scales beyond your personal effort. Employees sell hours. Owners build engines. Employees wait for the next paycheck. Owners create assets that generate value around the clock. That is why two people can work equally hard and end up in completely different worlds. One becomes more exhausted every year. The other becomes more powerful. The difference is not effort. The difference is structure. The system rewards ownership far more than obedience. It rewards those who control productive assets. It rewards those who understand where money actually flows. And money always flows toward control. This is why many intelligent people feel stuck. They were taught how to earn, but never taught how to position. They were trained to become dependable workers, not independent builders. Once you understand this, your entire view of money changes. The goal is no longer to work harder. The goal is to build something that works harder than you ever could. Because freedom begins the moment your income stops, depending entirely on your hours. And that is the point where the program starts to break. Imagine two people. Both are intelligent. Both are disciplined. Both work hard. But they are playing completely different games. The first person follows the traditional script. Study hard. Get a stable job. Save consistently. Wait patiently. For years, everything appears to be working. The salary grows slowly. The savings account gets larger. Friends call this responsible. Family calls this success. But beneath the surface, something is missing. Control. Every dollar still depends on showing up. Every month still depends on permission. Every plan still depends on external conditions. Now, look at the second person. They also work hard, but they treat income as fuel, not as a destination. They build valuable skills. They take calculated risks. They acquire assets. They reinvest aggressively. Over time, their money begins producing more money. Their systems become stronger. Their dependence becomes smaller. One person accumulates numbers. The other accumulates leverage. One protects effort. The other multiplies outcomes. And leverage always outruns labor. This is why some people appear to accelerate while others remain trapped in place. It is not because they were luckier. It is because they understood the rules earlier. The painful truth is that many hardworking people spend decades climbing with incredible discipline, only to discover they were climbing the wrong mountain. Not because they were careless, but because they were given a script optimized for predictability, not freedom. You were taught how to become reliable. You were rarely taught how to become independent. And those are very different destinies. The cost of misunderstanding this is not just financial. It is existential, because the most valuable asset you possess is not money. It is time. And every year spent following the wrong script is a year you can never recover. So how do you break the program? You begin by questioning the beliefs you were told never to challenge. The goal is not to reject discipline. The goal is to redirect it. Discipline without ownership creates exhaustion. Discipline with leverage creates freedom. First, build skills that increase your economic value. Communication, sales, writing, technology, problem solving. These are assets no one can repossess and no inflation can erase. Second, convert surplus income into ownership. Businesses, stocks, digital products, intellectual property, systems that continue producing value after the original work is finished. Third, think in decades rather than paychecks. Every decision either deepens dependence or expands control. That is the real divide. Most people are taught to seek security, but security often depends on institutions you do not control. Freedom comes from owning something that works for you. This transformation does not happen overnight. It begins with a new question. Instead of asking, how can I earn a little more? Ask, how can I build something that grows without my constant presence? That question changes everything, because wealth is not simply accumulated. It is engineered. And engineering begins when you stop accepting the default script. You are not foolish for following the rules. You are operating with incomplete information. Now you can see the mechanism. Now you can choose differently. You can continue living inside a program designed by others. Or you can start designing systems that return ownership of your time. So the real question is, will you keep repeating a script that feels safe? Or will you write one that makes you free? If this changed the way you see money in life, subscribe to Money Talks Money. I'm collecting donations in the form of a subscribe.